سورة الأعراف.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
I seek refuge in Allah from the expelled Satan.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
ألف لام ميم صاد.
Alif, Lam, Mim, Sad.
كتاب أنزل إليك فلا يكن في صدرك حرج منه لتنذر به وذكرى للمؤمنين.
This is a book revealed to you, O Mohamed. So let there not be in your breast distress therefrom, that you may warn thereby, and as a reminder to the believers.
اتبعوا ما أنزل إليكم من ربكم ولا تتبعوا من دونه أولياء قليلا ما تذكرون.
Follow, O mankind, what has been revealed to you from your Lord, and do not follow other than him any allies. Little do you remember.
وكم من قرية أهلكناها فجاءها بأسنا بياتا أو هم قائلون.
And how many cities have we destroyed, and our punishment came to them at night, or while they were sleeping at noon.
فما كان دعواهم إذ جاءهم بأسنا إلا أن قالوا إنا كنا ظالمين.
And their declaration when our punishment came to them was only that they said, "Indeed, we were wrongdoers."
فلنسألن الذين أرسل إليهم ولنسألن المرسلين.
Then we will surely question those to whom a message was sent, and we will surely question the messengers.
فلنقصن عليهم بعلم وما كنا غائبين.
Then we will surely relate their deeds to them with knowledge, and we were never absent.
والوزن يومئذ الحق فمن ثقلت موازينه فأولئك هم المفلحون.
And the weighing of deeds that day will be the truth. So those whose scales are heavy, it is they who will be the successful.
ومن خفت موازينه فأولئك الذين خسروا أنفسهم بما كانوا بآياتنا يظلمون.
And those whose scales are light, they are the ones who will lose themselves for what injustice they were doing toward our verses.
ولقد مكناكم في الأرض وجعلنا لكم فيها معايش قليلا ما تشكرون.
And we have certainly established you upon the earth, and made for you therein ways of livelihood. Little are you grateful.
ولقد خلقناكم ثم صورناكم ثم قلنا للملائكة اسجدوا لآدم فسجدوا إلا إبليس لم يكن من الساجدين.
And we have certainly created you, O mankind, and given you human form. Then we said to the angels, prostrate to Adam. So they prostrated, except for Iblis. He was not of those who prostrated.
قال ما منعك ألا تسجد إذ أمرتك قال أنا خير منه خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين.
Allah said, "What prevented you from prostrating when I commanded you?" Satan said, "I am better than him. You created me from fire and created him from clay, i.e. earth."
قال فاهبط منها فما يكون لك أن تتكبر فيها فاخرج إنك من الصاغرين.
Allah said, "Descend from it, i.e. paradise, for it is not for you to be arrogant therein. So get out. Indeed, you are of the debased."
قال أنظرني إلى يوم يبعثون.
Satan said, "Reprieve me until the day they are resurrected."
قال إنك من المنظرين.
Allah said, "Indeed, you are of those reprieved."
قال فبما أغويتني لأقعدن لهم صراطك المستقيم.
Satan said, "Because you have put me in error, I will surely sit in wait for them, i.e. mankind, on your straight path.
ثم لآتينهم من بين أيديهم ومن خلفهم وعن أيمانهم وعن شمائلهم ولا تجد أكثرهم شاكرين.
Then I will come to them from before them and from behind them and on their right and on their left, and you will not find most of them grateful to you.
قال اخرج منها مذءوما مدحورا لمن تبعك منهم لأملأن جهنم منكم أجمعين.
Allah said, "Depart from it, i.e. paradise, reproached and expel. Whoever follows you among men, I will surely fill hell with you altogether."
ويا آدم اسكن أنت وزوجك الجنة فكلا من حيث شئتما ولا تقربا هذه الشجرة فتكونا من الظالمين.
And, O Adam, dwell you and your wife in paradise, and eat from wherever you will, but do not approach this tree, lest you be among the wrongdoers.
فوسوس لهما الشيطان ليبدي لهما ما وري عنهما من سوآتهما وقال ما نهاكما ربكما عن هذه الشجرة إلا أن تكونا ملكين أو تكونا من الخالدين.
But Satan whispered to them to make apparent to them that which was concealed from them of their private parts. He said, "Your Lord did not forbid you this tree except that you become angels or become of the immortal."
وقاسمهما إني لكما لمن الناصحين.
And he swore by Allah to them, "Indeed, I am to you from among the sincere advisers."
فدلاهما بغرور فلما ذاقا الشجرة بدت لهما سوآتهما وطفقا يخصفان عليهما من ورق الجنة وناداهما ربهما ألم أنهكما عن تلكما الشجرة وأقل لكما إن الشيطان لكما عدو مبين.
So he made them fall through deception. And when they tasted of the tree, their private parts became apparent to them, and they began to fasten together over themselves from the leaves of paradise. And their Lord called to them, Did I not forbid you from that tree, and tell you that Satan is to you a clear enemy?
قالا ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين.
They said, Our Lord, we have wronged ourselves, and if you do not forgive us and have mercy upon us, we will surely be among the losers.
قال اهبطوا بعضكم لبعض عدو ولكم في الأرض مستقر ومتاع إلى حين.
Allah said, Descend, being to one another enemies, and for you on the earth is a place of settlement and enjoyment, i.e. provision, for a time.
قال فيها تحيون وفيها تموتون ومنها تخرجون.
He said, Therein you will live, and therein you will die, and from it you will be brought forth.
يا بني آدم قد أنزلنا عليكم لباسا يواري سوآتكم وريشا ولباس التقوى ذلك خير ذلك من آيات الله لعلهم يذكرون.
O children of Adam, we have bestowed upon you clothing to conceal your private parts and as adornment. But the clothing of righteousness, that is best. That is from the signs of Allah, that perhaps they will remember.
يا بني آدم لا يفتننكم الشيطان كما أخرج أبويكم من الجنة ينزع عنهما لباسهما ليريهما سوآتهما إنه يراكم هو وقبيله من حيث لا ترونهم إنا جعلنا الشياطين أولياء للذين لا يؤمنون.
O children of Adam, let not Satan tempt you as he removed your parents from paradise, stripping them of their clothing, to show them their private parts. Indeed, he sees you, he and his tribe, from where you do not see them. Indeed, we have made the devils allies to those who do not believe.
وَإِذَا فَعَلُوا فَاحِشَةً قَالُوا وَجَدْنَا عَلَيْهَا آبَاءَنَا وَاللَّهُ أَمَرَنَا بِهَا قُلْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَأْمُرُ بِالْفَحْشَاءِ أَتَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ.
And when they commit an immorality, they say, We found our fathers doing it, and Allah has ordered us to do it. Say, Indeed, Allah does not order immorality. Do you say about Allah that which you do not know?
قُلْ أَمَرَ رَبِّي بِالْقِسْطِ وَأَقِيمُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ عِندَ كُلِّ مَسْجِدٍ وَادْعُوهُ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ كَمَا بَدَأَكُمْ تَعُودُونَ.
Say, O Mohammed, My Lord has ordered justice, and that you direct yourselves to the Qibla at every place or time of prostration, and invoke Him, sincere to Him in religion. Just as he originated you, you will return to life.
فريقا هدى وفريقا حق عليهم الضلالة إنهم اتخذوا الشياطين أولياء من دون الله ويحسبون أنهم مهتدون.
A group of you he guided, and a group deserved to be in error. Indeed they, i.e. the latter, had taken the devils as allies instead of Allah, while they thought that they were guided.
يا بني آدم خذوا زينتكم عند كل مسجد وكلوا واشربوا ولا تسرفوا إنه لا يحب المسرفين.
O children of Adam, take your adornment, i.e. wear your clothing, at every masjid, and eat and drink, but be not excessive. Indeed, he likes not those who commit excess.
قل من حرم زينة الله التي أخرج لعباده والطيبات من الرزق قل هي للذين آمنوا في الحياة الدنيا خالصة يوم القيامة كذلك نفصل الآيات لقوم يعلمون.
Say, who has forbidden the adornment of, i.e. from Allah, which he has produced for his servants, and the good lawful things of provision? Say, they are for those who believed during the life of this world, exclusively for them on the day of resurrection. Thus do we detail the verses for a people who know.
قل إنما حرم ربي الفواحش ما ظهر منها وما بطن والإثم والبغي بغير الحق وأن تشركوا بالله ما لم ينزل به سلطانا وأن تقولوا على الله ما لا تعلمون.
Say, my Lord has only forbidden immoralities, what is apparent of them and what is concealed, and sin, and oppression without right, and that you associate with Allah that for which he has not sent down authority, and that you say about Allah that which you do not know.
وَلِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ أَجَلٌ فَإِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهُمْ لَا يَسْتَأْخِرُونَ سَاعَةً وَلَا يَسْتَقْدِمُونَ.
And for every nation is a specified term. So when their time has come, they will not remain behind an hour, nor will they precede it.
يا بني آدم إما يأتينكم رسل منكم يقصون عليكم آياتي فمن اتقى وأصلح فلا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون.
O children of Adam, if there come to you messengers from among you, relating to you my verses, i.e. scriptures and laws, then whoever fears Allah and reforms, there will be no fear concerning them, nor will they grieve.
والذين كذبوا بآياتنا واستكبروا عنها أولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون.
But the ones who deny our verses and are arrogant toward them, those are the companions of the fire. They will abide therein eternally.
فمن أظلم ممن افترى على الله كذبا أو كذب بآياته أولئك ينالهم نصيبهم من الكتاب حتى إذا جاءتهم رسلنا يتوفونهم قالوا أين ما كنتم تدعون من دون الله قالوا ضلوا عنا وشهدوا على أنفسهم أنهم كانوا كافرين.
And who is more unjust than one who invents about Allah a lie or denies his verses? Those will attain their portion of the decree until, when our messengers, i.e. angels, come to them to take them in death, they will say, "Where are those you used to invoke besides Allah?" They will say, "They have departed from us," and will bear witness against themselves that they were disbelievers.
قال ادخلوا في قد خلت من قبلكم من الجن والإنس في النار كلما دخلت أمة لعنت أختها حتى إذا اداركوا فيها جميعا قالت أخراهم لأولاهم ربنا هؤلاء أضلونا فآتهم عذابا ضعفا من النار قال لكل ضعف ولكن لا تعلمون.
Allah will say, "Enter among nations which had passed on before you of jinn and mankind into the fire. Every time a nation enters, it will curse its sister, until when they have all overtaken one another therein, the last of them will say about the first of them, 'Our Lord, these had misled us, so give them a double punishment of the fire.' He will say, 'For each is double, but you do not know.'"
وقالت أولاهم لأخراهم فما كان لكم علينا من فضل فذوقوا العذاب بما كنتم تكسبون.
And the first of them will say to the last of them, "Then you had not any favor over us, so taste the punishment for what you used to earn."
إن الذين كذبوا بآياتنا واستكبروا عنها لا تفتح لهم أبواب السماء ولا يدخلون الجنة حتى يلج الجمل في سم الخياط وكذلك نجزي المجرمين.
Indeed, those who deny our verses and are arrogant toward them, the gates of heaven will not be opened for them, nor will they enter paradise until a camel enters into the eye of a needle, i.e. never. And thus do we recompense the criminals.
لهم من جهنم مهاد ومن فوقهم غواش وكذلك نجزي الظالمين.
They will have from hell a bed, and over them coverings of fire. And thus do we recompense the wrongdoers.
والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لا نكلف نفسا إلا وسعها أولئك أصحاب الجنة هم فيها خالدون.
But those who believed and did righteous deeds, we charge no soul except within its capacity. Those are the companions of paradise. They will abide therein eternally.
ونزعنا ما في صدورهم من غل تجري من تحتهم الأنهار وقالوا الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق ونودوا أن تلكم الجنة أورثتموها بما كنتم تعملون.
And we will have removed whatever is within their breasts of resentment, while flowing beneath them are rivers. And they will say, Praise to Allah, who has guided us to this. And we would never have been guided if Allah had not guided us. Certainly the messengers of our Lord had come with the truth. And they will be called, This is paradise, which you have been made to inherit for what you used to do.
ونادى أصحاب الجنة أصحاب النار أن قد وجدنا ما وعدنا ربنا حقا فهل وجدتم ما وعد ربكم حقا قالوا نعم فأذن مؤذن بينهم اللعنة الله على الظالمين.
And the companions of paradise will call out to the companions of the fire, We have already found what our Lord promised us to be true. Have you found what your Lord promised to be true? They will say yes. Then an announcer will announce among them, The curse of Allah shall be upon the wrongdoers.
الذين يصدون عن سبيل الله ويبغونها عوجا وهم بالآخرة كافرون.
Who averted people from the way of Allah and sought to make it seem deviant while they were, concerning the hereafter, disbelievers.
وبينهما حجاب وعلى الأعراف رجال يعرفون كلا بسيماهم ونادوا أصحاب الجنة أن سلام عليكم لم يدخلوها وهم يطمعون.
And between them will be a partition, i.e. wall, and on its elevations are men who recognize all by their mark. And they call out to the companions of paradise, Peace be upon you. They have not yet entered it, but they long intensely.
وَإِذَا صُرِفَتْ أَبْصَارُهُمْ تِلْقَاءَ أَصْحَابِ النَّارِ قَالُوا رَبَّنَا لَا تَجْعَلْنَا مَعَ الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ.
And when their eyes are turned toward the companions of the fire, they say, Our Lord, do not place us with the wrongdoing people.
ونادى أصحاب الأعراف رجالا يعرفونهم بسيماهم قالوا ما أغنى عنكم جمعكم وما كنتم تستكبرون.
And the companions of the elevations will call to men within hell, whom they recognize by their mark, saying, Of no avail to you was your gathering, and the fact that you were arrogant.
أهؤلاء الذين أقسمتم لا ينالهم الله برحمة ادخلوا الجنة لا خوف عليكم ولا أنتم تحزنون.
Allah will say, Are these the ones whom you, inhabitants of hell, swore that Allah would never offer them mercy? Enter paradise, O people of the elevations. No fear will there be concerning you, nor will you grieve.
ونادى أصحاب النار أصحاب الجنة أن أفيضوا علينا من الماء أو مما رزقكم الله قالوا إن الله حرمهما على الكافرين.
And the companions of the fire will call to the companions of paradise, pour upon us some water, or from whatever Allah has provided you. They will say, indeed, Allah has forbidden them both to the disbelievers.
الذين اتخذوا دينهم لهوا ولعبا وغرتهم الحياة الدنيا فاليوم ننساهم كما نسوا لقاء يومهم هذا وما كانوا بآياتنا يجحدون.
Who took their religion as a distraction and amusement, and whom the worldly life deluded. So today we will forget them, just as they forgot the meeting of this day of theirs, and for having rejected our verses.
وَلَقَدْ جِئْنَاهُمْ بِكِتَابٍ فَصَّلْنَاهُ عَلَى عِلْمٍ هُدًى وَرَحْمَةً لِقَوْمٍ يُؤْمِنُونَ.
And we had certainly brought them a book which we detailed by knowledge as guidance and mercy to a people who believe.
هَلْ يَنظُرُونَ إِلَّا تَأْوِيلَهُ يوم يأتي تأويله يقول الذين نسوه من قبل قد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق فهل لنا من شفعاء فيشفعوا لنا أو نرد فنعمل غير الذي كنا نعمل قد خسروا أنفسهم وضل عنهم ما كانوا يفترون.
Do they await except its result? The day its result comes, those who had ignored it before will say, the messengers of our Lord had come with the truth. So are there now any intercessors to intercede for us? Or could we be sent back to do other than what we used to do? They will have lost themselves, and lost from them is what they used to invent.
إن ربكم الله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض في 6 أيام ثم استوى على العرش يغشي الليل النهار يطلبه حثيثا والشمس والقمر والنجوم مسخرات بأمره ألا له الخلق والأمر تبارك الله رب العالمين.
Indeed, your Lord is Allah, who created the heavens and earth in 6 days, and then established himself above the throne. He covers the night with the day, another night chasing it rapidly. And he created the sun, the moon, and the stars, subjected by his command. Unquestionably, his is the creation and the command. Blessed is Allah, Lord of the worlds.
ادعوا ربكم تضرعا وخفية إنه لا يحب المعتدين.
Call upon your Lord in humility and privately. Indeed, he does not like transgressors.
ولا تفسدوا في الأرض بعد إصلاحها وادعوه خوفا وطمعا إن رحمة الله قريب من المحسنين.
and cause not corruption upon the earth after its reformation, and invoke him in fear and aspiration. Indeed, the mercy of Allah is near to the doers of good.
وهو الذي يرسل الرياح بشرا بين يدي رحمته حتى إذا أقلت سحابا ثقالا سقناه لبلد ميت فأنزلنا به الماء فأخرجنا به من كل الثمرات كذلك نخرج الموتى لعلكم تذكرون.
And it is He who sends the winds as good tidings before His mercy, i.e. rainfall, until when they have carried heavy rain clouds, we drive them to a dead land. And we send down rain therein, and bring forth thereby some of all the fruits. Thus will we bring forth the dead. Perhaps you may be reminded.
والبلد الطيب يخرج نباته بإذن ربه والذي خبث لا يخرج إلا نكدا كذلك نصرف الآيات لقوم يشكرون.
And the good land, its vegetation emerges by permission of its Lord. But that which is bad, nothing emerges except sparsely, with difficulty. Thus do we diversify the signs for a people who are grateful.
لقد أرسلنا نوحا إلى قومه فقال يا قوم اعبدوا الله ما لكم من إله غيره إني أخاف عليكم عذاب يوم عظيم.
We had certainly sent Noah to his people, and he said, O my people, worship Allah. You have no deity other than Him. Indeed, I fear for you the punishment of a tremendous day.
قال الملأ من قومه إنا لنراك في ضلال مبين.
Said the eminent among his people, Indeed, we see you in clear error.
قال يا قوم ليس بي ضلالة ولكني رسول من رب العالمين.
Noah said, O my people, there is not error in me, but I am a messenger from the Lord of the worlds.
أبلغكم رسالات ربي وأنصح لكم وأعلم من الله ما لا تعلمون.
I convey to you the message of my Lord and advise you, and I know from Allah what you do not know.
أَوَعَجِبْتُمْ أَنْ جَاءَكُمْ ذِكْرٌ مِّن رَّبِّكُمْ عَلَى رَجُلٍ مِّنكُمْ لِيُنذِرَكُمْ وَلِتَتَّقُوا وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ.
Then do you wonder that there has come to you a reminder from your Lord through a man from among you, that he may warn you, and that you may fear Allah, so you might receive mercy.
فكذبوه فأنجيناه والذين معه في الفلك وأغرقنا الذين كذبوا بآياتنا إنهم كانوا قوما عمين.
But they denied him. So we saved him and those who were with him in the ship, and we drowned those who denied our signs. Indeed, they were a blind people.
وإلى عاد أخاهم هودا قال يا قوم اعبدوا الله ما لكم من إله غيره أفلا تتقون.
And to the Ad we sent their brother Hud. He said, O my people, worship Allah. You have no deity other than Him. Then will you not fear Him?
قال الملأ الذين كفروا من قومه إنا لنراك في سفاهة وإنا لنظنك من الكاذبين.
Said the eminent ones who disbelieved among his people, indeed, we see you in foolishness, and indeed we think you are of the liars.
قال يا قوم ليس بي سفاهة ولكني رسول من رب العالمين.
Hud said, O my people, there is not foolishness in me, but I am a messenger from the Lord of the worlds.
أبلغكم رسالات ربي وأنا لكم ناصح أمين.
I convey to you the messages of my Lord, and I am to you a trustworthy advisor.
أَوَعَجِبْتُمْ أَنْ جَاءَكُمْ ذِكْرٌ مِّن رَّبِّكُمْ عَلَى رَجُلٍ مِّنكُمْ لِيُنذِرَكُمْ واذكروا إذ جعلكم خلفاء من بعد قوم نوح وزادكم في الخلق بسطة فاذكروا آلاء الله لعلكم تفلحون.
Then do you wonder that there has come to you a reminder from your Lord through a man from among you, that he may warn you? And remember when he made you successors after the people of Noah, and increased you in stature extensively. So remember the favors of Allah, that you might succeed.
قالوا أجئتنا لنعبد الله وحده ونذر ما كان يعبد آباؤنا فأتنا بما تعدنا إن كنت من الصادقين.
They said, have you come to us that we should worship Allah alone and leave what our fathers have worshipped? Then bring us what you promise us, if you should be of the truthful.
قال قد وقع عليكم من ربكم رجس وغضب أتجادلونني في أسماء سميتموها أنتم وآباؤكم ما نزل الله بها من سلطان فانتظروا إني معكم من المنتظرين.
Hud said, already have defilement and anger fallen upon you from your Lord. Do you dispute with me concerning mere names you have named them, you and your fathers, for which Allah has not sent down any authority? Then wait. Indeed, I am with you among those who wait.
فأنجيناه والذين معه برحمة منا وقطعنا دابر الذين كذبوا بآياتنا وما كانوا مؤمنين.
So we saved him and those with him by mercy from us, and we eliminated those who denied our signs, and they were not at all believers.
وإلى ثمود أخاهم صالحا قال يا قوم اعبدوا الله ما لكم من إله غيره قد جاءتكم بينة من ربكم هذه ناقة الله لكم آية فذروها تأكل في أرض الله ولا تمسوها بسوء فيأخذكم عذاب أليم.
And to the Thamud we sent their brother Salih. He said, O my people, worship Allah. You have no deity other than Him. There has come to you clear evidence from your Lord. This is the she-camel of Allah, sent to you as a sign. So leave her to eat with Allah's land, and do not touch her with harm, lest there seize you a painful punishment.
واذكروا إذ جعلكم خلفاء من بعد عاد وبوأكم في الأرض تتخذون من سهولها قصورا وتنحتون الجبال بيوتا فاذكروا آلاء الله ولا تعثوا في الأرض مفسدين.
And remember when He made you successors after the Ard, and settled you in the land, and you take for yourselves palaces from its plains, and carve from the mountains homes. Then remember the favors of Allah, and do not commit abuse on the earth, spreading corruption.
قال الملأ الذين استكبروا من قومه للذين استضعفوا لمن آمن منهم أتعلمون أن صالحا مرسل من ربه قالوا إنا بما أرسل به مؤمنون.
Said the eminent ones who were arrogant among His people to those who were oppressed, to those who believed among them, do you actually know that Salih is sent from his Lord? They said, indeed we, in that with which he was sent, are believers.
قال الذين استكبروا إنا بالذي آمنتم به كافرون.
Said those who were arrogant, indeed we, in that which you have believed, are disbelievers.
فعقروا الناقة وعتوا عن أمر ربهم وقالوا يا صالح ائتنا بما تعدنا إن كنت من المرسلين.
So they hamstrung the she-camel and were insolent toward the command of their Lord, and said, O Salih, bring us what you promise us, if you should be of the messengers.
فأخذتهم الرجفة فأصبحوا في دارهم جاثمين.
So the earthquake seized them, and they became within their home corpses fallen prone.
فتولى عنهم وقال يا قوم لقد أبلغتكم رسالة ربي ونصحت لكم ولكن لا تحبون الناصحين.
And he, i.e. Salih, turned away from them and said, O my people, I had certainly conveyed to you the message of my Lord and advised you, but you do not like advisers.
ولوطا إذ قال لقومه أتأتون الفاحشة ما سبقكم بها من أحد من العالمين.
And we had sent Lot when he said to his people, Do you commit such immorality as no one has preceded you with from among the worlds, i.e. peoples?
إنكم لتأتون الرجال شهوة من دون النساء بل أنتم قوم مسرفون.
Indeed, you approach men with desire instead of women. Rather, you are a transgressing people.
وما كان جواب قومه إلا أن قالوا قريتكم إنهم أناس يتطهرون.
But the answer of his people was only that they said, "Evict them from your city. Indeed, they are men who keep themselves pure."
فأنجيناه وأهله إلا امرأته كانت من الغابرين.
So we saved him and his family, except for his wife. She was of those who remained with the evildoers.
وأمطرنا عليهم مطرا فانظر كيف كان عاقبة المجرمين.
And we rained upon them a rain of stones. Then see how was the end of the criminals.
وإلى مدين أخاهم شعيبا قال يا قوم اعبدوا الله ما لكم من إله غيره قد جاءتكم بينة من ربكم فأوفوا الكيل والميزان ولا تبخسوا الناس أشياءهم ولا تفسدوا في الأرض بعد إصلاحها ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم مؤمنين.
And to the people of Madian we sent their brother Shu'aib. He said, "O my people, worship Allah. You have no deity other than Him. There has come to you clear evidence from your Lord. So fulfill the measure and weight, and do not deprive people of their due, and cause not corruption upon the earth after its reformation. That is better for you, if you should be believers."
ولا تقعدوا بكل صراط توعدون وتصدون عن سبيل الله من آمن به وتبغونها عوجا واذكروا إذ كنتم قليلا فكثركم وانظروا كيف كان عاقبة المفسدين.
And do not sit on every path, threatening and diverting from the way of Allah those who believe in Him, seeking to make it seem deviant. And remember when you were few and He increased you, and see how was the end of the corruptors.
وَإِن كَانَ طَائِفَةٌ مِّنكُمْ آمَنُوا بِالَّذِي أُرْسِلْتُ بِهِ وَطَائِفَةٌ لَّمْ يُؤْمِنُوا فاصبروا حتى يحكم الله بيننا وهو خير الحاكمين.
And if there should be a group among you who has believed in that with which I have been sent, and a group that has not believed, then be patient until Allah judges between us, and He is the best of judges.
قال الملأ الذين استكبروا من قومه لنخرجنك يا شعيب والذين آمنوا معك من قريتنا أو لتعودن في ملتنا قال أولو كنا كارهين.
Said the eminent ones who were arrogant among his people, "We will surely evict you, O Shu'aib, and those who have believed with you from our city, or you must return to our religion." He said, "Even if we were unwilling,
قد افترينا على الله كذبا إن عدنا في ملتكم بعد إذ نجانا الله منها وما يكون لنا أن نعود فيها إلا أن يشاء الله ربنا وسع وسع ربنا كل شيء علما على الله توكلنا ربنا افتح بيننا وبين قومنا بالحق وأنت خير الفاتحين.
We would have invented against Allah a lie if we returned to your religion after Allah had saved us from it. And it is not for us to return to it except that Allah our Lord should will. Our Lord has encompassed all things in knowledge. Upon Allah we have relied. Our Lord, decide between us and our people in truth, and you are the best of those who give decision.
وقال الملأ الذين كفروا من قومه لئن اتبعتم شعيبا إنكم إذا لخاسرون.
Said the eminent ones who disbelieved among his people, if you should follow Shu'aib, indeed you would then be losers.
فأخذتهم الرجفة فأصبحوا في دارهم جاثمين.
So the earthquake seized them, and they became within their home corpses fallen prone.
الذين كذبوا شعيبا كأن لم يغنوا فيها الذين كذبوا شعيبا كانوا هم الخاسرين.
Those who denied Shu'aib, it was as though they had never resided there. Those who denied Shu'aib, it was they who were the losers.
فتولى عنهم وقال يا قوم لقد أبلغتكم رسالات ربي ونصحت لكم فكيف آسى على قوم كافرين.
And he, i.e. Shu'aib, turned away from them and said, O my people, I had certainly conveyed to you the message of my Lord and advised you. So how could I grieve for a disbelieving people?
وما أرسلنا في قرية من نبي إلا أخذنا أهلها بالبأساء والضراء لعلهم يضرعون.
And we sent to no city a prophet who was denied, except that we seized its people with poverty and hardship, that they might humble themselves to Allah.
ثم بدلنا مكان السيئة الحسنة حتى عفوا وقالوا قد مس آباءنا الضراء والسراء فأخذناهم بغتة وهم لا يشعرون.
Then we exchanged in place of the bad condition good, until they increased and prospered, and said, Our fathers also were touched with hardship and ease. So we seized them suddenly while they did not perceive.
ولو أن أهل القرى آمنوا واتقوا لفتحنا عليهم بركات من السماء والأرض ولكن كذبوا فأخذناهم بما كانوا يكسبون.
And if only the people of the cities had believed and feared Allah, we would have opened, i.e. bestowed upon them blessings from the heaven and the earth. But they denied the messengers, so we seized them for what they were earning.
أفأمن أهل القرى أن يأتيهم بأسنا بياتا وهم نائمون.
Then did the people of the cities feel secure from our punishment, coming to them at night while they were asleep?
أَوَأَمِنَ أَهْلُ الْقُرَىٰ أَن يَأْتِيَهُم بَأْسُنَا ضُحًى وَهُمْ يَلْعَبُونَ
Or did the people of the cities feel secure from our punishment coming to them in the morning while they were at play?
أَفَأَمِنُوا مَكْرَ اللَّهِ فَلَا يَأْمَنُ مَكْرَ اللَّهِ إِلَّا الْقَوْمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ
Then did they feel secure from the plan of Allah? But no one feels secure from the plan of Allah except the losing people.
أَوَلَمْ يَهْدِ لِلَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْأَرْضَ مِن بَعْدِ أَهْلِهَا أَن لَّوْ نَشَاءُ أَصَبْنَاهُم بِذُنُوبِهِمْ وَنَطْبَعُ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ فَهُمْ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ
Has it not become clear to those who inherited the earth after its previous people that if we willed, we could afflict them for their sins? But we seal over their hearts so they do not hear.
تِلْكَ الْقُرَىٰ نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ مِنْ أَنبَائِهَا وَلَقَدْ جَاءَتْهُمْ رُسُلُهُم بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ فَمَا كَانُوا لِيُؤْمِنُوا بِمَا كَذَّبُوا مِن قَبْلُ كَذَلِكَ يَطْبَعُ اللَّهُ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِ الْكَافِرِينَ
Those cities, we relate to you, O Muhammad, some of their news. And certainly did their messengers come to them with clear proofs, but they were not to believe in that which they had denied before. Thus does Allah seal over the hearts of the disbelievers.
وَمَا وَجَدْنَا لِأَكْثَرِهِم مِّنْ عَهْدٍ وَإِن وَجَدْنَا أَكْثَرَهُمْ لَفَاسِقِينَ
And we did not find for most of them any covenant. But indeed, we found most of them defiantly disobedient.
ثُمَّ بَعَثْنَا مِن بَعْدِهِم مُّوسَىٰ بِآيَاتِنَا إِلَىٰ فِرْعَوْنَ وَمَلَئِهِ فَظَلَمُوا بِهَا فَانظُرْ كَيْفَ كَانَ عَاقِبَةُ الْمُفْسِدِينَ
Then we sent after them Moses with our signs to Pharaoh and his establishment. But they were unjust toward them. So see how was the end of the corruptors.
وَقَالَ مُوسَىٰ يَا فِرْعَوْنُ إِنِّي رَسُولٌ مِّن رَّبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ
And Moses said, O Pharaoh, I am a messenger from the Lord of the worlds.
حقيق على ألا أقول على الله إلا الحق قد جئتكم ببينة من ربكم فأرسل معي بني إسرائيل
Who is obligated not to say about Allah except the truth. I have come to you with clear evidence from your Lord, so send with me the children of Israel.
قال إن كنت جئت بآية فأت بها إن كنت من الصادقين.
Pharaoh said, If you have come with a sign, then bring it forth if you should be of the truthful.
فألقى عصاه فإذا هي ثعبان مبين.
So he, i.e. Moses, threw his staff, and suddenly it was a serpent manifest.
ونزع يده فإذا هي بيضاء للناظرين.
And he drew out his hand. Thereupon it was white with radiance for the observers.
قال الملأ من قوم فرعون إن هذا لساحر عليم.
Said the eminent among the people of Pharaoh, Indeed, this is a learned magician
يريد أن يخرجكم من أرضكم فماذا تأمرون
who wants to expel you from your land through magic. So, what do you instruct?
قالوا أرجه وأخاه وأرسل في المدائن حاشرين.
They said, postpone the matter of him and his brother and send among the cities gatherers.
يأتوك بكل ساحر عليم.
Who will bring you every learned magician.
وجاء السحرة فرعون قالوا إن لنا لأجرا إن كنا نحن الغالبين.
And the magicians came to Pharaoh. They said, indeed, for us is a reward if we are the predominant.
قال نعم وإنكم لمن المقربين.
He said, yes, and moreover, you will be among those made near to me.
قالوا يا موسى إما أن تلقي وإما أن نكون نحن الملقين.
They said, O Moses, either you throw your staff, or we will be the ones to throw first.
قال ألقوا فلما ألقوا سحروا أعين الناس واسترهبوهم وجاءوا بسحر عظيم.
He said, throw. And when they threw, they bewitched the eyes of the people and struck terror into them, and they presented a great feat of magic.
وأوحينا إلى موسى أن ألق عصاك فإذا هي تلقف ما يأفكون.
And we inspired to Moses, throw your staff, and at once it devoured what they were falsifying.
ووقع الحق وبطل ما كانوا يعملون.
So the truth was established, and abolished was what they were doing.
فغلبوا هنالك وانقلبوا صاغرين.
And they, i.e. Pharaoh and his people, were overcome right there and became debased.
وألقي السحرة ساجدين.
And the magicians fell down in prostration to Allah.
قالوا آمنا برب العالمين.
They said, we have believed in the Lord of the worlds,
رب موسى وهارون.
the Lord of Moses and Aaron.
قال فرعون آمنتم به قبل أن آذن لكم إن هذا لمكر مكرتموه في المدينة لتخرجوا منها أهلها فسوف تعلمون.
Said Pharaoh, you believed in him before I gave you permission. Indeed, this is a conspiracy which you conspired in the city to expel therefrom its people. But you are going to know.
لأقطعن أيديكم وأرجلكم من خلاف ثم لأصلبنكم أجمعين.
I will surely cut off your hands and your feet on opposite sides. Then I will surely crucify you all.
قالوا إنا إلى ربنا منقلبون.
They said, indeed, to our Lord we will return.
وما تنقم منا إلا أن آمنا بآيات ربنا لما جاءتنا ربنا أفرغ علينا صبرا وتوفنا مسلمين.
And you do not resent us, except because we believed in the signs of our Lord when they came to us. Our Lord, pour upon us patience, and let us die as Muslims in submission to you.
وقال الملأ من قوم فرعون أتذر موسى وقومه ليفسدوا في الأرض ويذرك وآلهتك قال سنقتل أبناءهم ونستحيي نساءهم وإنا فوقهم قاهرون.
And the eminent among the people of Pharaoh said, Will you leave Moses and his people to cause corruption in the land and abandon you and your gods? Pharaoh said, We will kill their sons and keep their women alive, and indeed we are subjugators over them.
قال موسى لقومه استعينوا بالله واصبروا إن الأرض لله يورثها من يشاء من عباده والعاقبة للمتقين.
Said Moses to his people, Seek help through Allah, and be patient. Indeed, the earth belongs to Allah. He causes to inherit it whom He wills of His servants, and the best outcome is for the righteous.
قالوا أوذينا من قبل أن تأتينا ومن بعد ما جئتنا قال عسى ربكم أن يهلك عدوكم ويستخلفكم في الأرض فينظر كيف تعملون.
They said, We have been harmed before you came to us, and after you have come to us. He said, Perhaps your Lord will destroy your enemy and grant you succession in the land, and see how you will do.
وَلَقَدْ أَخَذْنَا آلَ فِرْعَوْنَ بِالسِّنِينَ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَذَّكَّرُونَ.
And we certainly seized the people of Pharaoh with years of famine and a deficiency in fruits, that perhaps they would be reminded.
فَإِذَا جَاءَتْهُمُ الْحَسَنَةُ قَالُوا لَنَا هَٰذِهِ وَإِن تُصِبْهُمْ سَيِّئَةٌ يَطَّيَّرُوا بِمُوسَى وَمَن مَّعَهُ أَلَا إِنَّمَا طَائِرُهُمْ عِندَ اللَّهِ وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَهُمْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ.
But when good, i.e. provision, came to them, they said, This is ours by right. And if a bad condition struck them, they saw an evil omen in Moses and those with him. Unquestionably, their fortune is with Allah, but most of them do not know.
وَقَالُوا مَهْمَا تَأْتِنَا بِهِ مِنْ آيَةٍ لِتَسْحَرَنَا بِهَا فَمَا نَحْنُ لَكَ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ.
And they said, No matter what sign you bring us with which to bewitch us, we will not be believers in you.
فَأَرْسَلْنَا عَلَيْهِمُ الطُّوفَانَ وَالْجَرَادَ وَالْقُمَّلَ وَالضَّفَادِعَ وَالدَّمَ آيَاتٍ مُفَصَّلَاتٍ فَاسْتَكْبَرُوا وَكَانُوا قَوْمًا مُجْرِمِينَ.
So we sent upon them the flood, and locusts, and lice, and frogs, and blood as distinct signs. But they were arrogant and were a criminal people.
وَلَمَّا وَقَعَ عَلَيْهِمُ الرِّجْزُ قَالُوا يَا مُوسَى ادْعُ لَنَا رَبَّكَ بِمَا عَهِدَ عِندَكَ لئن كشفت عنا الرجز لنؤمنن لك ولنرسلن معك بني إسرائيل.
And when the punishment descended upon them, they said, O Moses, invoke for us your Lord by what he has promised you. If you can remove the punishment from us, we will surely believe you, and we will send with you the children of Israel.
فلما كشفنا عنهم الرجز إلى أجل هم بالغوه إذا هم ينكثون.
But when we removed the punishment from them until a term which they were to reach, then at once they broke their word.
فانتقمنا منهم فأغرقناهم في اليم بأنهم كذبوا بآياتنا وكانوا عنها غافلين.
So we took retribution from them, and we drowned them in the sea, because they denied our signs and were heedless of them.
وأورثنا القوم الذين كانوا يستضعفون مشارق الأرض ومغاربها التي باركنا فيها وتمت كلمة ربك الحسنى على بني إسرائيل بما صبروا ودمرنا ما كان يصنع فرعون وقومه وما كانوا يعرشون.
And we caused the people who had been oppressed to inherit the eastern regions of the land and the western ones which we had blessed. And the good word, i.e. decree of your Lord, was fulfilled for the children of Israel because of what they had patiently endured. And we destroyed all that Pharaoh and his people were producing and what they had been building.
وجاوزنا ببني إسرائيل البحر فأتوا على قوم يعكفون على أصنام لهم قالوا يا موسى اجعل لنا إلها كما لهم آلهة قال إنكم قوم تجهلون.
And we took the children of Israel across the sea. Then they came upon a people intent in devotion to some idols of theirs. They, the children of Israel, said, O Moses, make for us a god, just as they have gods. He said, Indeed, you are a people behaving ignorantly.
إن هؤلاء متبر ما هم فيه وباطل ما كانوا يعملون.
Indeed, those worshippers, destroyed is that in which they are engaged, and worthless is whatever they were doing.
قال أغير الله أبغيكم إلها وهو فضلكم على العالمين.
He said, Is it other than Allah I should desire for you as a God, while He has preferred you over the worlds?
وإذ أنجيناكم من آل فرعون يسومونكم سوء العذاب يقتلون أبناءكم ويستحيون نساءكم وفي ذلكم بلاء من ربكم عظيم.
And recall, O children of Israel, when we saved you from the people of Pharaoh, who were afflicting you with the worst torment, killing your sons and keeping your women alive. And in that was a great trial from your Lord.
وواعدنا موسى 30 ليلة وأتممناها ب10 فتم ميقات ربه 40 ليلة وقال موسى لأخيه هارون اخلفني في قومي وأصلح ولا تتبع سبيل المفسدين.
And we made an appointment with Moses for 30 nights and perfected them by the addition of 10. So the term of his Lord was completed as 40 nights. And Moses said to his brother Aaron, "Take my place among my people, do right by them, and do not follow the way of the corruptors."
ولما جاء موسى لميقاتنا وكلمه ربه قال رب أرني أنظر إليك قال لن تراني ولكن انظر إلى الجبل فإن استقر مكانه فسوف تراني فلما تجلى ربه للجبل جعله دكا وخر موسى صعقا فلما أفاق قال سبحانك تبت إليك وأنا أول المؤمنين.
And when Moses arrived at our appointed time and his Lord spoke to him, he said, "My Lord, show me yourself, that I may look at you." Allah said, "You will not see me, but look at the mountain. If it should remain in place, then you will see me." But when his Lord appeared to the mountain, he rendered it level, and Moses fell unconscious. And when he awoke, he said, "Exalted are you. I have repented to you, and I am the first among my people of the believers."
قال يا موسى إني اصطفيتك على الناس برسالاتي وبكلامي فخذ ما آتيتك وكن من الشاكرين.
Allah said, "O Moses, I have chosen you over the people with my message and my words to you. So take what I have given you, and be among the grateful."
وكتبنا له في الألواح من كل شيء موعظة وتفصيلا لكل شيء فخذها بقوة وأمر قومك يأخذوا بأحسنها سأريكم دار الفاسقين.
And we wrote for him on the tablets something of all things, instruction and explanation for all things, saying, "Take them with determination and order your people to take the best of it. I will show you the home of the defiantly disobedient."
سأصرف عن آياتي الذين يتكبرون في الأرض بغير الحق وإن يروا كل آية لا يؤمنوا بها وإن يروا سبيل الرشد لا يتخذوه سبيلا وإن يروا سبيل الغي يتخذوه سبيلا ذلك بأنهم كذبوا بآياتنا وكانوا عنها غافلين.
I will turn away from my signs those who are arrogant upon the earth without right. And if they should see every sign, they will not believe in it. And if they see the way of consciousness, they will not adopt it as a way. But if they see the way of error, they will adopt it as a way. That is because they have denied our signs, and they were heedless of them.
والذين كذبوا بآياتنا ولقاء الآخرة حبطت أعمالهم هل يجزون إلا ما كانوا يعملون.
Those who denied our signs and the meeting of the hereafter, their deeds have become worthless. Are they recompensed except for what they used to do?
واتخذ قوم موسى من بعده من حليهم عجلا جسدا له خوار ألم يروا أنه لا يكلمهم ولا يهديهم سبيلا اتخذوه وكانوا ظالمين.
And the people of Moses made, after his departure, from their ornaments a calf, an image having a lowing sound. Did they not see that it could neither speak to them nor guide them to a way? They took it for worship, and they were wrongdoers.
ولما سقط في أيديهم ورأوا أنهم قد ضلوا قالوا لئن لم يرحمنا ربنا ويغفر لنا لنكونن من الخاسرين.
And when regret overcame them, and they saw that they had gone astray, they said, "If our Lord does not have mercy upon us and forgive us, we will surely be among the losers."
ولما رجع موسى إلى قومه غضبان أسفا قال بئس ما خلفتموني من بعدي أعجلتم أمر ربكم وألقى الألواح وأخذ برأس أخيه يجره إليه قال ابن أم إن القوم استضعفوني وكادوا يقتلونني فلا تشمت بي الأعداء ولا تجعلني مع القوم الظالمين.
And when Moses returned to his people, angry and grieved, he said, "How wretched is that by which you have replaced me after my departure? Were you impatient over the matter of your Lord?" And he threw down the tablets and seized his brother by the hair of his head, pulling him toward him. Aaron said, "O son of my mother, indeed the people overpowered me and were about to kill me. So let not the enemies rejoice over me, and do not place me among the wrongdoing people."
قال رب اغفر لي ولأخي وأدخلنا في رحمتك وأنت أرحم الراحمين.
Moses said, "My Lord, forgive me and my brother, and admit us into your mercy, for you are the most merciful of the merciful."
إن الذين اتخذوا العجل سينالهم غضب من ربهم وذلة في الحياة الدنيا وكذلك نجزي المفترين.
Indeed, those who took the calf for worship will obtain anger from their Lord and humiliation in the life of this world, and thus do we recompense the inventors of falsehood.
والذين عملوا السيئات ثم تابوا من بعدها وآمنوا إن ربك من بعدها لغفور رحيم.
But those who committed misdeeds and then repented after them and believed, indeed your Lord thereafter is forgiving and merciful.
ولما سكت عن موسى الغضب أخذ الألواح وفي نسختها هدى ورحمة للذين هم لربهم يرهبون.
And when the anger subsided in Moses, he took up the tablets, and in their inscription was guidance and mercy for those who are fearful of their Lord.
واختار موسى قومه 70 رجلا لميقاتنا فلما أخذتهم الرجفة قال رب لو شئت أهلكتهم من قبل وإياي أتهلكنا بما فعل السفهاء منا إن هي إلا فتنتك تضل بها من تشاء وتهدي من تشاء أنت ولينا فاغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الغافرين.
And Moses chose from his people 70 men for our appointment. And when the earthquake seized them, he said, My Lord, if you had willed, you could have destroyed them before, and me as well. Would you destroy us for what the foolish among us have done? This is not but your trial, by which you send astray, and whom you will guide, and whom you will. You are our protector, so forgive us and have mercy upon us, and you are the best of forgivers.
واكتب لنا في هذه الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة إنا هدنا إليك قال عذابي أصيب به من أشاء ورحمتي وسعت كل شيء فسأكتبها للذين يتقون ويؤتون الزكاة والذين هم بآياتنا يؤمنون.
And decree for us in this world that which is good, and also in the hereafter. Indeed, we have turned back to you. Allah said, My punishment, I afflict with it whom I will. But my mercy encompasses all things. So I will decree it especially for those who fear me, and give zakah, and those who believe in our verses.
الذين يتبعون الرسول النبي الأمي الذي يجدونه مكتوبا عندهم في التوراة والإنجيل يأمرهم بالمعروف وينهاهم عن المنكر ويحل لهم الطيبات ويحرم عليهم الخبائث ويضع عنهم إصرهم والأغلال التي كانت عليهم فالذين آمنوا به وعزروه ونصروه واتبعوا النور الذي أنزل معه أولئك هم المفلحون.
Those who follow the messenger, the unlettered prophet, whom they find written, i.e. described, in what they have of the Torah and the Gospel, who enjoins upon them what is right, and prohibits them from what is wrong, and makes lawful for them what is good, and forbids them from what is evil, and relieves them of their burden and the shackles which were upon them. So they who have believed in him, honored him, supported him, and followed the light which was sent down with him, it is those who will be the successful.
قل يا أيها الناس إني رسول الله إليكم جميعا الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض لا إله إلا هو يحيي ويميت فآمنوا بالله ورسوله النبي الأمي الذي يؤمن بالله وكلماته واتبعوه لعلكم تهتدون.
Say, O Mohammed, O mankind, indeed I am the messenger of Allah to you all, from him to whom belongs the dominion of the heavens and the earth. There is no deity except him. He gives life and causes death. So believe in Allah and his messenger, the unlettered prophet, who believes in Allah and his words, and follow him that you may be guided.
ومن قوم موسى أمة يهدون بالحق وبه يعدلون.
And among the people of Moses is a community which guides by truth, and by it establishes justice.
وقطعناهم 12 أسباطا أمما وأوحينا إلى موسى إذ استسقاه قومه أن اضرب بعصاك الحجر فانبجست منه 12 عينا قد علم كل أناس مشربهم وظللنا عليهم الغمام وأنزلنا عليهم المن والسلوى كلوا من طيبات ما رزقناكم وما ظلمونا ولكن كانوا أنفسهم يظلمون.
And we divided them into 12 descendant tribes as distinct nations. And we inspired to Moses when his people implored him for water, strike with your staff the stone. And there gushed forth from it 12 springs. Every people, i.e. tribe, knew its watering place. And we shaded them with clouds, and sent down upon them manna and quails, saying, eat from the good things with which we have provided you. And they wronged us not, but they were only wronging themselves.
وَإِذْ قِيلَ لَهُمُ اسْكُنُوا هَٰذِهِ الْقَرْيَةَ وَكُلُوا مِنْهَا حَيْثُ شِئْتُمْ وَقُولُوا حِطَّةٌ وَادْخُلُوا الْبَابَ سُجَّدًا نَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ خَطِيئَاتِكُمْ سَنَزِيدُ الْمُحْسِنِينَ.
And mention, O Mohammed, when it was said to them, dwell in this city, i.e. Jerusalem, and eat from it wherever you will, and say, relieve us of our burdens, i.e. sins, and enter the gate bowing humbly. We will then forgive you your sins. We will increase the doers of good in goodness and reward.
فبدل الذين ظلموا منهم قولا غير الذي قيل لهم فأرسلنا عليهم رجزا من السماء بما كانوا يظلمون.
But those who wronged among them changed the words to a statement other than that which had been said to them. So we sent upon them a punishment from the sky for the wrong that they were doing.
واسألهم عن القرية التي كانت حاضرة البحر إذ يعدون في السبت إذ تأتيهم حيتانهم يوم سبتهم شرعا ويوم لا يسبتون لا تأتيهم كذلك نبلوهم بما كانوا يفسقون.
And ask them about the town that was by the sea, when they transgressed in the matter of the Sabbath, when their fish came to them openly on their Sabbath day, and the day they had no Sabbath they did not come to them. Thus did we give them trial, because they were defiantly disobedient.
وَإِذْ قَالَتْ أُمَّةٌ مِّنْهُمْ لِمَ تَعِظُونَ قَوْمًا اللَّهُ مُهْلِكُهُمْ أَوْ مُعَذِّبُهُمْ عَذَابًا شَدِيدًا قَالُوا مَعْذِرَةً إِلَىٰ رَبِّكُمْ وَلَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَّقُونَ.
And when a community among them said, why do you advise or warn a people whom Allah is about to destroy or to punish with a severe punishment? They, the advisers, said, to be absolved before your Lord, and perhaps they may fear him.
فَلَمَّا نَسُوا مَا ذُكِّرُوا بِهِ أَنجَيْنَا الَّذِينَ يَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ السُّوءِ وَأَخَذْنَا الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا بِعَذَابٍ بَئِيسٍ بِمَا كَانُوا يَفْسُقُونَ.
And when they, i.e. those advised, forgot that by which they had been reminded, we saved those who had forbidden evil and seized those who wronged with a wretched punishment, because they were defiantly disobeying.
فلما عتوا عما نهوا عنه قلنا لهم كونوا قردة خاسئين.
So when they were insolent about that which they had been forbidden, we said to them, be apes, despised.
وَإِذْ تَأَذَّنَ رَبُّكَ لَيَبْعَثَنَّ عَلَيْهِمْ إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ مَنْ يَسُومُهُمْ سُوءَ الْعَذَابِ إِنَّ رَبَّكَ لَسَرِيعُ الْعِقَابِ وَإِنَّهُ لَغَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ.
And mention when your Lord declared that he would surely continue to send upon them until the day of resurrection those who would afflict them with the worst torment. Indeed, your Lord is swift in penalty, but indeed he is forgiving and merciful.
وَقَطَّعْنَاهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ أُمَمًا مِنْهُمُ الصَّالِحُونَ وَمِنْهُمْ دُونَ ذَلِكَ وَبَلَوْنَاهُمْ بِالْحَسَنَاتِ وَالسَّيِّئَاتِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ.
And we divided them throughout the earth into nations. Of them some were righteous, and of them some were otherwise. And we tested them with good times and bad, that perhaps they would return to obedience.
فخلف من بعدهم خلف ورثوا الكتاب يأخذون عرض هذا الأدنى ويقولون سيغفر لنا وإن يأتهم عرض مثله يأخذوه ألم يؤخذ عليهم ميثاق الكتاب ألا يقولوا على الله إلا الحق ودرسوا ما فيه والدار الآخرة خير للذين يتقون أفلا تعقلون.
And there followed them successors who inherited the scripture while taking the commodities of this lower life and saying, it will be forgiven for us. And if an offer like it comes to them, they will again take it. Was not the covenant of the scripture, i.e. the Torah, taken from them, that they would not say about Allah except the truth, and they studied what was in it? And the home of the hereafter is better for those who fear Allah. So will you not use reason?
والذين يمسكون بالكتاب وأقاموا الصلاة إنا لا نضيع أجر المصلحين.
But those who hold fast to the book, i.e. the Quran, and establish prayer, indeed we will not allow to be lost the reward of the reformers.
وَإِذْ نَتَقْنَا الْجَبَلَ فَوْقَهُمْ كَأَنَّهُ ظُلَّةٌ وَظَنُّوا أَنَّهُ واقع بِهِمْ خُذُوا ما آتَيْنَاكُمْ بِقُوَّةٍ وَاذْكُرُوا مَا فِيهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ.
And mention when we raised the mountain above them, as if it was a dark cloud, and they were certain that it would fall upon them. And Allah said, take what we have given you with determination, and remember what is in it, that you might fear Allah.
وَإِذْ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ ظُهُورِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ وَأَشْهَدَهُمْ عَلَى أَنفُسِهِمْ أَلَسْتُ بِرَبِّكُمْ قَالُوا بَلَى شَهِدْنَا أَن تَقُولُوا يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ إِنَّا كُنَّا عَنْ هَذَا غَافِلِينَ.
And mention when your Lord took the children of Adam from their loins, their descendants, and made them testify of themselves. saying to them, "Am I not your Lord?" They said, "Yes, we have testified this, lest you should say on the day of resurrection, indeed, we were of this unaware."
أو تقولوا إنما أشرك آباؤنا من قبل وكنا ذرية من بعدهم أفتهلكنا بما فعل المبطلون.
Or lest you say, it was only that our fathers associated others in worship with Allah before, and we were but descendants after them. Then would you destroy us for what the falsifiers have done?
وكذلك نفصل الآيات ولعلهم يرجعون.
And thus do we explain in detail the verses, and perhaps they will return.
واتل عليهم نبأ الذي آتيناه آياتنا فانسلخ منها فأتبعه الشيطان فكان من الغاوين.
And recite to them, O Muhammad, the news of him to whom we gave knowledge of our signs, but he detached himself from them. So Satan pursued him, and he became of the deviators.
ولو شئنا لرفعناه بها ولكنه أخلد إلى الأرض واتبع هواه فمثله كمثل الكلب إن تحمل عليه يلهث أو تتركه يلهث ذلك مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآياتنا فاقصص القصص لعلهم يتفكرون.
And if we had willed, we could have elevated him thereby. But he adhered instead to the earth, and followed his own desire. So his example is like that of the dog. If you chase him, he pants, or if you leave him, he still pants. That is the example of the people who denied our signs. So relate the stories that perhaps they will give thought.
ساء مثلا القوم الذين كذبوا بآياتنا وأنفسهم كانوا يظلمون.
How evil an example is that of the people who denied our signs and used to wrong themselves.
من يهد الله فهو المهتدي ومن يضلل فأولئك هم الخاسرون.
Whoever Allah guides, he is the rightly guided, and whoever he sends astray, it is those who are the losers.
ولقد ذرأنا لجهنم كثيرا من الجن والإنس لهم قلوب لا يفقهون بها ولهم أعين لا يبصرون بها ولهم آذان لا يسمعون بها أولئك كالأنعام بل هم أضل أولئك هم الغافلون.
And we have certainly created for hell many of the jinn and mankind. They have hearts with which they do not understand. They have eyes with which they do not see. And they have ears with which they do not hear. Those are like livestock. Rather, they are more astray. It is they who are the heedless.
وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى فَادْعُوهُ بِهَا وَذَرُوا الَّذِينَ يُلْحِدُونَ فِي أَسْمَائِهِ سَيُجْزَوْنَ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ.
And to Allah belongs the best names. So invoke him by them, and leave the company of those who practice deviation concerning his names. They will be recompensed for what they have been doing.
وَمِمَّن ممن خلقنا أمة يهدون بالحق وبه يعدلون.
And among those we created is a community which guides by truth and thereby establishes justice.
والذين كذبوا بآياتنا سنستدرجهم من حيث لا يعلمون.
But those who deny our signs, we will progressively lead them to destruction from where they do not know.
وأملي لهم إن كيدي متين.
And I will give them time. Indeed, my plan is firm.
أولم يتفكروا ما بصاحبهم من جنة إن هو إلا نذير مبين.
Then do they not give thought? There is in their companion, i.e. Mohammed, no madness. He is not but a clear warner.
أولم ينظروا في ملكوت السماوات والأرض وما خلق الله من شيء وأن عسى أن يكون قد اقترب أجلهم فبأي حديث بعده يؤمنون.
Do they not look into the realm of the heavens and the earth and everything that Allah has created, and think that perhaps their appointed time has come near? So, in what statement, i.e. message, hereafter, will they believe?
من يضلل الله فلا هادي له ويذرهم في طغيانهم يعمهون.
Whoever Allah sends astray, there is no guide for him, and he leaves them in their transgression, wandering blindly.
يسألونك عن الساعة أيان مرساها قل إنما علمها عند ربي لا يجليها لوقتها إلا هو ثقلت في السماوات والأرض لا تأتيكم إلا بغتة يسألونك كأنك حفي عنها قل إنما علمها عند الله ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون.
They ask you, O Muhammad, about the hour. When is its arrival? Say, its knowledge is only with my Lord. None will reveal its time except Him. It lays heavily upon the heavens and the earth. It will not come upon you except unexpectedly. They ask you as if you are familiar with it. Say, its knowledge is only with Allah, but most of the people do not know.
قل لا أملك لنفسي نفعا ولا ضرا إلا ما شاء الله ولو كنت أعلم الغيب لاستكثرت من الخير وما مسني السوء إن أنا إلا نذير وبشير لقوم يؤمنون.
Say, I hold not for myself the power of benefit or harm except what Allah has willed. And if I knew the unseen, I could have acquired much wealth, and no harm would have touched me. I am not except a warner and a bringer of good tidings to a people who believe.
هو الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وجعل منها زوجها ليسكن إليها فلما تغشاها حملت حملا خفيفا فمرت به فلما أثقلت دعوا الله ربهما لئن آتيتنا صالحا لنكونن من الشاكرين.
It is He who created you from one soul, and created from it its mate, that he might dwell in security with her. And when he, i.e. man, covers her, she carries a light burden, i.e. a pregnancy, and continues therein. And when it becomes heavy, they both invoke Allah their Lord. If you should give us a good child, we will surely be among the grateful.
فلما آتاهما صالحا جعلا له شركاء فيما آتاهما فتعالى الله عما يشركون.
But when he gives them a good child, they ascribe partners to him concerning that which he has given them. Exalted is Allah above what they associate with him.
أَيُشْرِكُونَ مَا لَا يَخْلُقُ شَيْئًا وَهُمْ يُخْلَقُونَ.
Do they associate with him those who create nothing, and they are themselves created?
وَلَا يَسْتَطِيعُونَ لَهُمْ نَصْرًا وَلَا أَنفُسَهُمْ يَنصُرُونَ.
And they, i.e. the false deities, are unable to give them help, nor can they help themselves.
وَإِن تَدْعُوهُمْ إِلَى الْهُدَى لَا يَتَّبِعُوكُمْ سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْكُمْ أَدْعَوْتُمُوهُمْ أَمْ أَنْتُمْ صَامِتُونَ.
And if you believers invite them to guidance, they will not follow you. It is all the same for you whether you invite them or you are silent.
إِنَّ الَّذِينَ تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ عِبَادٌ أَمْثَالُكُمْ فَادْعُوهُمْ فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لَكُمْ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ.
Indeed, those you, polytheists, call upon besides Allah are servants, i.e. creations like you. So call upon them and let them respond to you, if you should be truthful.
أَلَهُمْ أَرْجُلٌ يَمْشُونَ بِهَا أَمْ لَهُمْ أَيْدٍ يَبْطِشُونَ بِهَا أَمْ لَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا أَمْ لَهُمْ آذَانٌ يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا قُلِ ادْعُوا شُرَكَاءَكُمْ ثُمَّ كِيدُونِ فَلَا تُنظِرُونَ.
Do they have feet by which they walk? Or do they have hands by which they strike? Or do they have eyes by which they see? Or do they have ears by which they hear? Say, O Mohammed, call your partners and then conspire against me and give me no respite.
إن وليي الله الذي نزل الكتاب وهو يتولى الصالحين.
Indeed, my protector is Allah, who has sent down the book, and he is an ally to the righteous.
والذين تدعون من دونه لا يستطيعون نصركم ولا أنفسهم ينصرون.
And those you call upon besides him are unable to help you, nor can they help themselves.
وإن تدعوهم إلى الهدى لا يسمعوا وتراهم ينظرون إليك وهم لا يبصرون.
And if you invite them to guidance, they do not hear, and you see them looking at you while they do not see.
خذ العفو وأمر بالعرف وأعرض عن الجاهلين.
Take what is given freely, enjoin what is good, and turn away from the ignorant.
وَإِمَّا يَنزَغَنَّكَ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ نَزْغٌ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ إِنَّهُ سَمِيعٌ عَلِيمٌ.
And if an evil suggestion comes to you from Satan, then seek refuge in Allah. Indeed, he is hearing and knowing.
إن الذين اتقوا إذا مسهم طائف من الشيطان تذكروا فإذا هم مبصرون.
Indeed, those who fear Allah, when an impulse touches them from Satan, they remember him, and at once they have insight.
وإخوانهم يمدونهم في الغي ثم لا يقصرون.
But their brothers, they, i.e. the devils, increase them in error. Then they do not stop short.
وإذا لم تأتهم بآية قالوا لولا اجتبيتها قل إنما أتبع ما يوحى إلي من ربي هذا بصائر من ربكم وهدى ورحمة لقوم يؤمنون.
And when you, O Muhammad, do not bring them a sign, i.e. miracle, they say, why have you not contrived it? Say, I only follow what is revealed to me from my Lord. This Quran is enlightenment from your Lord, and guidance and mercy for a people who believe.
وَإِذَا قُرِئَ الْقُرْآنُ فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ وَأَنصِتُوا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ.
So when the Quran is recited, then listen to it and pay attention that you may receive mercy.
واذكر ربك في نفسك تضرعا وخيفة ودون الجهر من القول بالغدو والآصال ولا تكن من الغافلين.
And remember your Lord within yourself, in humility and in fear, without being apparent in speech, in the mornings and the evenings. And do not be among the heedless.
إن الذين عند ربك لا يستكبرون عن عبادته ويسبحونه وله يسجدون.
Indeed, those who are near your Lord, i.e. the angels, are not prevented by arrogance from his worship. And they exalt him, and to him they prostrate.